Hello, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Happy Easter Monday to you. I am so excited to join you guys today, only because depending on where you're located, it may or may not be, giving you the itch to start your garden up, okay? And so today we're going to talk about how you can take your garden and make it a little bit more natural, right? Obviously, if you're interested in creating your own garden, it's because you are wanting to be more conscious about what you're putting inside your system, right? There you go, a little bit of a win. So I want to chat with you guys today about gardening in a more natural way. If we haven't met before, my name is Dylan, and I absolutely love supporting people who are motivated to naturally improve their lives. Specifically, I love to use plants to help heal you, okay? Which kind of goes in the way of gardening, which is fantastic, right? I know we're getting ready to put our garden in as well. So please use this opportunity to really get comfortable. If you have any questions about any of the things that we're going to use, I'm going to talk a lot today about how to use plants in the form of essential oils to help you with your gardening so that you can make it a little bit more friendly for you. So before I get started, I want to cover the bases because I specifically use doTERRA essential oils. And there's a number of reasons why I chose to partner with this company. Number one reason was their co-impact sourcing. Okay, so it matters where the plants are sourced from. Okay, doTERRA sources their plants from where the plants originate. This means that they are grown at the right altitude, climate, in the right season, the soil, all of the things that are going to give you a superior plant, okay? And obviously, if you have a superior plant, you then have a superior essential oil that's extracted from it, okay? So, the second main reason why I chose doTERRA was specifically for their certified pure therapeutic grade. So this is really, really important because like with our food, aka the reason why we're growing our own gardens, not all foods are created equal, right? That the stuff that you harvest in your garden, or even the flowers or the bushes or the trees or whatever you're trying to grow, are not the same as something that would come from McDonald's. Okay, this is the same thing. doTERRA's oils have zero fillers, synthetics, dyes, pesticides, contaminants of any kind. Okay, and this means that they're just pure. They're pure, unadulterated oils, plants grown by experienced farmers in their indigenous lands. Okay, this is important. So that's quality. That's very important. There's three ways that you can use your essential oils. The first way is topically. So typically you are going to put an essential oil where your ailment is. If I have a sore shoulder, put it on my shoulder. If I have a sore knee, I'm going to put it right on my knee. If I have a headache, maybe my temples, across my forehead, behind my neck. And they will reach your bloodstream within 20 seconds. That's how they're carried throughout your system, which means if you either don't care for the smell of an essential oil or you're trying to do something that affects you systemically, you can just put them even on the bottom of your feet, okay? Throw them on the bottom of your feet, put your socks on, and again, they will go systemic throughout your body within, they're in your bloodstream within 20 seconds. They're systemic within 20 minutes. That's fast, okay? The second way is aromatically, and you can see my diffuser behind me. It's actually the new diffuser that just came out. And talk about really getting the therapeutic benefits where you need them. Unreal. Put a couple drops of whatever you're needing in your diffuser. You can mix them together. My husband calls them my witch's brew. And, or even put a drop, take your essential oil, put a drop right on your hand, rub your hands together. I call it the scent tent, and it is so amazing. Just put it right over your face, and you will absolutely start supporting your respiratory health fast. fast, depending on what you're wanting. I just put lemon in my hands, which means, any of your citrus oils are going to start to give you energy, okay? And then the third way that you can take them is internally. So I always use either stainless steel or glass. And again, I can put a drop of lemon right in my water, give my water a little shake, because obviously the oils are just going to sit right on top. Bam, done. So good. So good for my digestive system, so good for my metabolism, and really just setting my body up for what it needs to do naturally, okay? So those are your 3 ways to use the essential oils. Now, moving on to the goods. You have the foundation, okay? I also love how, doTERRA makes a really positive impact on the world, and they have, their Healing Hands Foundation, and they've partnered with, 60% of the places where they get their essential oils from these indigenous spots that I spoke about. These are underdeveloped countries, right? So instead of going in and exploiting, which is typically what we would do as North Americans, they've taken out the middleman, and they work directly with the farmers and teach them how to have a business, right? And these are generational farmers that have been harvesting peppermint and lemons and lavender and frankincense for generations, okay? But now it's taking it that step further and really teaching them how to run a business and making sure that they're paid fairly and on time. And again, unfortunately, the things that we may not do. And this is really important to me, because I always wondered how, we could live the way we do in North America. And even if you are part of the poor population in North America, you are considered rich in 60% of the world. So we want to always keep that in mind, right? So I always just think, as I'm buying these plants to support my family and our gardens and my health, I'm also supporting, people in other parts of the world that really, really are needing this. So that's always a good thing. So moving on to talking about gardening specifically, and I love this quote. It was by Dr. Herbert Needleman. He's a pediatrician and professor at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and he said, "Right now, we are conducting a toxicological experiment in our society, in which our children and our children's children are the experimental subject." Okay. And if that hits home for you, that's probably why you're here watching this class. And I know that this is a big reason and foundation for me. We need to reduce our toxic load if we want to avoid becoming just an unfortunate statistic. And the versatility of essential oils makes this change easy, makes it easier for us to embrace. So while the oils can help you, clean your home, reduce your stress, and even manage seasonal threats like what we talked about last week, we're going to focus on one of your pride and joys, okay? And this is your beloved garden, okay? And it really, if you're looking to go more natural, you're going to have your own garden, even if it's a small boxed garden, okay? We devote so much of our time to our garden, and as hobbyists or survivalists or full-timers, we know just how much work it can be to grow, a single tomato, right? So why throw away the chance at having a completely organic garden so that you can then just ruin it with toxic chemicals, right? Just so it looks a certain way, right? The answer is you don't have to, right? So that's what we're going to chat about today. One of doTERRA's best-selling blends for gardeners is actually TerraShield. So it comes in an essential oil, or you can get it in a spray as well. So this formula has ylang-ylang, cedarwood, catnip, lemon, eucalyptus, litsi, arborvitae, nootka, and vanilla bean, all in it. And all of these they possess very specific chemical compounds known to protect against environmental annoyances, right? So among these are essential oils which provide, a vapor barrier for plants, protecting them from potential threats in the environment. So you can make a plant safe, person safe, pet safe, pest spray by adding. So if you're going to use the essential oil, just take 4 ounces of purified water and then 50 drops of TerraShield in a stainless steel or glass spray bottle, and then shake it well, and then you can spray your plants, your family. I use it on the dog, or if you're not up for making your own, you can just buy one as well. But it's so, I've been using it on my babies since they were newborns, and it was such a nice option over DEET. Okay. And another recipe that I'm going to give you right off the hop, that I love to give this time of year. It's what I like to call the gardener's hand soap. So I'm a huge advocate for making your own soap. But if you take a half a cup of white sugar, this is the only time I'm going to inform you to put sugar in anything, particularly white sugar, but take a half a cup of white sugar, great exfoliant, a half a cup of cast iron soap, liquid cast iron soap, 2 tablespoons of fractionated coconut oil, so that's the liquid coconut oil, 1 teaspoon of vitamin E, and then 15 drops of geranium essential oil. And it goes without saying that, a day in the garden means, dirt on your hands in all the places that you never realized that you could get dirt. And this is a really quick, long-lasting, and exfoliating hand soap that will be a great resource for you. So, even feel free to add a few drops of another essential oil that you might like maybe lime or lemon or rosemary. And these would go a long way too. But you're definitely going to thank me for that one on how to clean your hands, and I will post it as well. Another one that's really nice too, you want to make sure that the tools that you're using to dig up your garden are not cleaned with harsh chemicals as well. So if you just take 2 liters of water and 10 drops of tea tree oil, combine them in a glass spray bottle, and then use them to sanitize, your tools in the pots and those sorts of things. If you have the luxury of keeping your tools even in a greenhouse or a garden shed, you'll want to make sure that that's cleaned as well for indoor storage. And just remembering that bugs hate tea tree. I have a bottle of it going all the time to spray our hairbrushes and hoodies and hats and all of those things that my kids are using. I use it for head lice for them. Remember, if you're spraying metal tools, that you want to dry them off before actually storing them. A few garden hacks that you want to keep in mind. So use the principles of companion planting, and choose essential oils for spraying or even using them to water your vegetables. So add a drop of essential oil for every single ounce of water used in your spray. So here you go. If you are planting things like tomatoes and lettuce, basil loves tomatoes and lettuce. So take your basil essential oil, again, 1 drop of essential oil for 1 ounce of water, and use that to water your tomato and lettuce. If you are growing cabbage, cucumber, lettuce, and onions, dill essential oil loves cabbage, cucumber, lettuce, and onions. So add a drop of dill for every ounce, spray your plants, water your plants. Rosemary loves beans, cabbage, and carrots. So if you have those in your garden, you want rosemary. And sage loves cabbage, carrots, and tomatoes. So if you have cabbage, carrots, and tomatoes, get that sage in the spray bottle and start spraying your plants down. Basil, marjoram, oregano, and thyme all love all garden crops. So if maybe you have an array of different things and you don't want to create different sprays, even just using basil or marjoram, oregano, or thyme, they just are loving on all of those plants. So please keep that in mind and water those plants accordingly. White vinegar is also going to be a great resource for you. So it's a natural herbicide. So use it full strength on weeds in cracks and crevices. Don't get rid of the Roundup. Okay, we are finding research is showing that, obviously because our cows and pigs and they're all, grazing out there. Maybe not pigs are grazing, but you get what I'm saying. They're eating the grass and consuming it, and we're finding Roundup in our meat. Okay, so and I know we live with a field back behind us, and I love the view, but man, I hate when that tractor gets out there and starts spraying. It drives me nuts. That's not the food I eat. However, I don't plant my garden until they're finished their initial spray, and it's so unfortunate. And that didn't even cross my mind when we had initially bought our house. So I would love to just give a big jug of vinegar to that farmer behind me, trust me. To kill things like slugs, if you spray 50% vinegar and 50% water, slugs be gone. If you are trying to preserve maybe some cut flowers, if you take 2 tablespoons of vinegar and 1 teaspoon of sugar for every liter of water, your flowers will thrive. And wash your garden veggies, making a bath of about 1.5 liters of water to 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And I also like to add in some lemon oil to wash up all my veggies as well. So I just fill my sink right up with it. There is a slew of things that can help support your garden, right? So specifically, use arborvitae for just about anything. It's kind of like the frankincense of gardening. You want to make sure you have arborvitae on hand, whether it is for a bug or a weed or whatever. If you were trying to get rid of flies, basil. Flies hate basil. Bed bugs or fleas. Oh God, I'm so itchy just thinking about it. Cedarwood. They hate cedarwood. Again, flies and roaches, eucalyptus. For ticks, geranium. So depending on where you live, if there's ticks around you, just again, making a spray bottle with some water and vinegar and geranium. Lavender, if you were trying to get rid of fleas, flies, ticks, mosquitoes, moths. Lemongrass, for chiggers, fleas, mosquitoes, and ticks. Patchouli for gnats, black flies, and snails. Peppermint for ants, beetles, moths, plant lice, and spiders. Sandalwood for weevils. Thyme for beetles, chiggers, cutworms, and ticks. And white fir for aphids, snails, and slugs. There you go. You can see there's so many different plants, and guys, you have to remember these plants were kind of put here for a reason, for us to use them to not just support our bodies, but to support the things that we're trying to grow and then consume, right? It's really important for you to know what will help your plants thrive, okay? So if you are wanting to grow bigger produce and even more flowers, consider Epsom salt. Okay, this is kind of a little trade secret. Magnesium is critical for seed germination, production, the production of chlorophyll, and it also aids in the absorption of the phosphorus and nitrogen. So sulfur is a key element in plant growth, which helps produce vitamins. So to use the Epsom salts, add 1 tablespoon to the soil when planting, or mix into the soil around the established plants. So you can also, if you dissolve 1 tablespoon per 1 gallon of water and use it to water the plants every 2 weeks, you will have, even if you're having pest problems, this would be a great time to add in that essential oil that I mentioned before as well. Just add it right on into that mixture and spray your plants and help them thrive. Okay. There's another product that I want to introduce you guys to. And if you are an avid gardener, food grade DE, which is made from fossilized water plants called diatoms. It's composed of 3% magnesium, 5% sodium, 2% iron, 19% calcium, and 33% silicon and trace minerals. Okay, so it's used by natural gardeners around the globe as a natural insect control protocol, in addition to the implementation of the essential oils, and it works out by drying out bugs on contact with. It has microscopic sharp edges that cut through, the insect's protective layers, I guess, which means bugs like ants, bed bugs, cockroaches, earwigs, mites, snails, slugs, they have direct contact with DE. They will instantly dry out and die. So again, firm believer, there's a reason for some insects to be here. But if you are, rather than, if you were having an abundance of them, if you are wanting a more natural solution, I really recommend getting the DE. So while you're going to want to wear a mask when you're applying it to your garden, the food grade DE means that it's safe for your plants. Okay, and you can spray it wet while using a ratio of 1 cup of the DE to every 2 liters of water. So again, one more natural solution. Now you know how to help your plants thrive, right? We feel confident with that. We've gotten rid of the bugs. We've gotten rid of the weeds. Our seedlings have thrived. And now it's time for the harvest. Okay, I know. How fast does that actually happen? So after, you're done digging, lifting, plucking, snipping, wheelbarrowing, adjusting, watering, gathering, sowing all of these seeds, you now have, maybe taking care of some sore muscles and chapped hands and blisters and scrapes. They're all par for the course if you're going to be a gardener, right? This is where, honestly, a huge thing that you will want to use, Deep Blue. If you guys haven't tried Deep Blue Rub is unreal, and it's available you can get the essential oil, there's a roll-on, there's a dietary supplement, there's a lotion. It comes in all forms because pain is real, right? And it's not one you're going to want it more outside of gardening season for sure. But it's so soothing and cooling, and will really help support you through that. If you have chapped hands after you've used your special hand scrub, I love to use either the Citrus Bliss or the unscented lotions, just grab some unscented lotion and put something like lavender in it. Really calming and really good for your hands as well. Blisters can be soothed with just even a drop of lavender and on cuts and scrapes. And even using the doTERRA Correct-X, which is ultimately the polysporin, the natural polysporin. It's multi-purpose, all natural ointment, and it has all the good plants right in it. Frankincense, helichrysum, lavender, tea tree, are all in this ointment. It is underneath every single Band-Aid, and we go through a lot of Band-Aids, but it is in every single Band-Aid. And now that you've, harvested your plants, okay, and you are reaping the benefits of your harvest, sit back and even, we call it the Canadian lavender lemonade, but it's have a nice cup. It's 1 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice, half a cup of maple syrup, 4 cups of water, 2 drops of lavender essential oil, and 2 to 4 drops of lemon essential oil with some ice cubes. My whole mouth just filled up with saliva. It's so delicious. It's so delicious. And now it's time to just sit back, right? Admire your hard work, and just have a nice tall glass of this lemonade. But mix all those ingredients into a big pitcher, stir it, taste it. If you've got lavender growing in your backyard, you can even make it look pretty with a little sprig of that as well. It's important to recognize everything that doesn't just go into creating a garden, right? It's really respecting the plants, right? And depending on what level you are in your plant appreciation, I really encourage you to, as you're watering those plants, just thank them for all their goodness, right? If we treated our plants like we treat each other, or like we treat our children, then they will also thrive, right? And there's a lot of research that shows, gratitude in general, but gratitude for your plants as you're watering them. Did you know that it actually takes 10 pounds of lavender to make a 5 ml bottle of lavender essential oil? Or it takes 67 pounds of plant material to make a 5 ml bottle of Melissa essential oil. Okay, everyone always asks about Melissa. Melissa oil, which is AKA lemon balm, I guess you might also call it. It's named after its really sweet aroma, which attracts bees to help them pollinate your garden. In fact, Melissa means honeybee in Greek, if you didn't know that. In addition to supporting your garden, it also has a positive effect on mood, as it calms feelings of tension, contributes to a restful sleep, while also promoting feelings of emotional well-being. In fact, it's considered to many as the alternative medicine world, as one of the most potent essential oils available. So you can dilute and apply it topically, or you can use it to flavor, in things like tea, or if you're making ice cream, or even I've had it on fish before, and it is delicious. Probably the most expensive piece of fish I've ever had. But how can you use these plants in other ways as well? The key is knowing that the best is coming, and we're kind of wrapping up how to use these essential oils in your garden, but please feel free to post some of your best tips and tricks below in the newsfeed if you have any questions. Happy to answer them there. I could go on and on about doTERRA, about essential oils, about simply the power in creating the life that you want, right? And that life starts with, and the foundation of it is your nutrition, right? So I really encourage you that even if you don't have a backyard, even if you're living in a condo somewhere, and if you have a balcony or you have a windowsill, get some pots going, right? And I really want to encourage you to start even growing your own herbs, right? And in addition, I want you to know, that my offer always stands. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about using essential oils. And, it's truly my ultimate passion. I love having the chance to share something that's had such a deep impact in our home. So please feel free to message me through Facebook or email, or whatever way works for you. But I'm so eager to help you get started. If you're wanting any of these specifically, your first step is through getting a wholesale account. So that's $35 American or $42 Canadian. It's like having a super healthy Costco membership that you can use whenever you want. Then you get 25% off all of the products, which is amazing. And if you choose to enroll with one of the enrollment kits, that $35, $42 fee is actually waived. So it's important to kind of really look at which ones you're wanting. There's certain oils that specifically, if you're wanting something like frankincense, you're automatically better off starting with one of the enrollment kits. But it's once you have this, it's so empowering just to be able to log in, shop, have it shipped to your house, and then you can also earn free points to get free shipping, and to also get free stuff like Melissa. You can trade in your points and get yourself some free Melissa. That's the best one to get. So, since my life has been so dramatically changed, I've really made it my personal responsibility to share these powerful products, and how they can impact your life in all of these different ways. So, in addition, there's a few questions that always come up, and that's always, how do I get started? Basically, you can either just go to my website or you can message me, and I will take my time and help to get you started. But the goal is that you are just really feeling empowered in your health. And I really want to thank you guys for participating with me today. This group, it's such a wonderful group and community that we have here. And, it's really become my why, and it's truly an honor to support you guys through this journey. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them below or private message me, and I am happy to help you with whatever you are needing along the way. Have an awesome day, guys. Happy gardening.